Welcome to my channel. This is the sound of an old building in Germany. Every single day for 36 years, this sound followed Michael as he made his way up the stairs to his apartment. That is until one day the sound stopped. The building had been sold to a new owner, and Michael was forced to move out. But before he left, he recorded one last trip up the stairs. He uploaded the audio to Reddit with the title, "The Silence Between Floors." It's one of the most popular posts on the subreddit. No, that's not normal. If it isn't mice, hail, or someone tapping in the walls, then what the hell is it? Well, one Reddit user may have solved the mystery. They may be sitting on their toilet, listening to the exact same thing. This user said that he used to live in a similar building in Germany. He said that the pipes in older buildings make a lot of noise when the water runs through them. So the most likely explanation is that the noise is coming from water running through the pipes inside the wall. This would explain why it sounds hollow and why it seems to stop when the pipes are full. And people are still trying to figure out what the noise actually is. Well, if you did, then you're probably not alone. This has happened to me so many times. But apparently it's also happened to people on the International Space Station. Just listen to this. Yeah, that sounds pretty normal, doesn't it? Like you can hear the water filling up the tank, and then the toilet starts to shake as the water rushes through the pipes. It's not very different from the sound we heard at the beginning of the video. And it makes sense because toilets use very similar technology to water pipes. The sound you hear when the water fills the tank after you flush is actually the pipes venting air. Some users suggested that it could be mice running around in the walls. But there are 2 apartments above Michael's and 1 below. And if there were mice, it would have been really hard to keep it to just the walls. So, does anyone watching know what this sound is? Let me know down below. There was also some speculation that the noise might actually be coming from inside the walls. You know, like someone tapping their fingers or something like that. But again, if that were the case, wouldn't the whole building be shaking? A few people thought that it sounded like hail. But that didn't make much sense either, since it only seems to happen in the stairwell. But while you're at it, please subscribe, because I put out videos every single day, and I would love for you to join the community while we wait for the results to come in. Here's another Reddit post that might be related. This story comes from a user named Shinobu. She was visiting her friend in Japan when she noticed that every time she walked past a certain room, she heard chains dragging metal moans. She told her friend about it, but he acted like it wasn't a big deal, just told her to get over it and move on. But it was really starting to get under her skin. So eventually she decided to confront the issue head on. She knocked on the door and introduced herself. When the person inside opened the door just a crack, she could see a naked man covered in chains. He quickly shut the door and locked it. She ran back to her friend's place and told him what she saw, but he didn't believe her. He said that there was no way a Japanese landlord would rent to such a person. So they checked the door, and sure enough, it was locked from the other side. They called the police, who broke down the door and arrested the man. The news spread through the apartment complex, and everyone was relieved to hear that he was finally going to be moved out. A short time later, Shinobi saw the same man being led out of the building in handcuffs. As she watched them walk away, she noticed that he was dragging himself along the ground like a dog. Okay, let's get back to the sound in the stairwell. And speaking of pipes, did you ever flush a toilet and then heard a sound like this? So the next time you hear this sound, just think about how we may be connected to astronauts floating around in space. That was the sound of an old building in Germany. And now it's the sound of your old toilet. Thanks for watching.